bikers, it's Pierce with BestElectricBikes.com, and today I'll be reviewing the Santa Cruz Heckler. This bike is pretty new and I've only heard good things about it, so I'm super excited to see how it does on the trail. Let's see you out there. The Santa Cruz Heckler always wants to go a little faster or climb a little steeper. Anything you are willing to try on the Heckler, it's going to handle with ease. The mix of the 27.5 wheels, Shimano Steps system, motor and battery, and the VPP linkage system from Santa Cruz provides an extremely playful and vibrant trail bike. It's always ready to charge hard.
Wow. Wow.
Thanks to the extra juice from the Shimano Steps motor and battery, I found myself climbing things I never thought were possible. Wow guys, we actually got up that first try. I was really impressed with how that rear tire stayed planted. I'm super used to 29ers, but the way this thing rolls over feels just like one. You still have the playfulness of the 27.5 though. With 160 millimeters of travel on the Fox 36 fork up front, and 150 millimeters on the Rockshox SuperDeluxe in the rear, this bike has plenty of travel for even the gnarliest of trails. The slack 65.5 degree head tube angle keeps you feeling super comfortable and in control on the steeps. Again, those 27.5 wheels are super maneuverable and jibby. I really enjoyed throwing them around. So this Heckler comes in at 47.5 pounds. That's going to be a little bit lighter than the industry standard for e-bikes nowadays, and I find it keeps it very planted, and I really like that with the e-bike, knowing where that back tire is going to be tracking. When you have 50 or so pounds that you're throwing around, it's important it stays below you, otherwise you could get in a lot of trouble. The battery and the motor are both about 6 pounds, and so that's a little bit lighter than your Bosch and Yamaha systems that are comparable.
I want to show you guys how grippy this bike is. Planted all the way down.
While it's a common misconception that e-bikes are for those who aren't as capable of riders, the Heckler says the opposite. The way this bike moves up the climbs and eats up the descents will make even the purest pedal bikers smile as the Heckler does its thing. Thanks to Shimano Steps, you'll have enough juice to get in more laps than you normally would. Another common misconception is that you don't get any exercise when you're on the e-bike. I actually found myself getting more of an upper body workout than I do on my normal bike on this thing. Now that you've seen me rip on the Shimano Steps system a little bit, one of my favorite things about it is the fact that you have 4 assistance levels and it cuts out at 20 miles per hour. The reason I like the 4 assistance levels is because it feels like you have a level for every single thing that you're trying to do. The eco for when you're trying to save your battery and just coasting along, and then all the way on the other end of the spectrum with the boost where you can climb nearly anything you're putting your mind to. This motor cuts out at 20 miles per hour, so when it comes to you going downhill, you don't have to worry about cranking and then going too fast into a corner and stuff. It keeps you within the realm of normal bike speeds. It just gets you up to those speeds a lot faster. So now that you've seen the bike in action and you know a little bit more about the motor setup that you have, I'd like to go into the spec on what you're really dealing with this bike that makes it hold together so well. The first thing that I really noticed was these 200 mil rotors and the Code brakes. The combo of the Code grab system and that big of a rotor, you stop super fast, sometimes a little faster than you're expecting if you're used to a smaller rotor, but with that extra inertia the electric bike carries, it's essential in my eyes. The next thing you have is the Fox 36 E-float fork. This is different than what your standard Fox Factory 36 is like you're used to on the normal mountain bikes. It's actually built up a little bit stiffer and the stanchion is a little bit stronger for that extra weight from the whole e-bike setup that you have here. Your rear shock is a Rockshox SuperDeluxe. I feel like Rockshox does really good rear suspension, so I was really happy to see that's what they chose for this. And with it hooked up to your VPP linkage system there, you have a very seamless rollover ability that feels a lot more like a 29er than you would really expect coming out of a bike of this size. Normally I'm on a 29er large frame. This is a 27.5 medium frame, but the rollover capability is still there tenfold. The next thing you have your SRAM GX on this spec, but you can upgrade that or make a tier lower if you want to save some money. And that's connected to a single tap shifter that's going to keep you from torquing out your drivetrain. When you have the extra torque, especially if you're in your higher assistance levels, it's important that you don't shift too much, otherwise you might break your chain or strip your drivetrain. So having that single tap system provides a very nice feel, and I know exactly how much I'm shifting every time I do it. And finally, the thing holding all those components I talked about together is your awesome carbon fiber frame here. Santa Cruz lays their carbon in a way they refer to as isometric, where it's the strongest possible lay, and they test every single one of their frames to make sure that it's strong and tested to be good enough. Especially with these e-bikes, it's easy to have structural integrity issues when you have an internal motor and battery, but I don't feel any different on this frame as far as structurally than I would a normal big hit enduro bike. Since it's carbon fiber, it's very stiff. You can really dictate where it goes without much compliance. It really holds up super well to all the big hits like I said before, and you have the warranty to back that up. So in conclusion, I feel like this is kind of the e-bike for the non-e-bike rider. If you want to get in more miles while still feeling like you're just as capable and able to throw around the bike as you would on your normal bike, this is the bike for you. A lot of these other electric bikes embrace the wattage, embrace the big tire size, and you can definitely tell that you're on a big, powerful bike. This is very subtle with where it helps you, and it feels very natural below you despite the extra assistance that you have. Overall, I am very satisfied with this bike. The way they've engineered and particularly chosen all these components to add up feels like a very well engineered, put together product, and I genuinely feel if they didn't choose the things they did, it wouldn't get off the ground like it does so well. For our written review and a lot more in-depth review, be sure to visit bestelectricbikes.com for the review on this and plenty of other e-bikes where you really want to get into the nitty-gritty of what it's all about. Be sure to leave a comment below about what you think, and be sure to subscribe for our next review. I would love to hear what you want me to review next. As long as it has 2 wheels and a motor, you can send me on it.